Hey everybody, it's Eddie Joe on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. So there were a couple of things that I wasn't able to get into the crypto minute. You know, that it's only a minute, right? So let's start off with the first one. The first one is very important, and the reason why I say so is because it's not the first group that's actually come out with an announcement like this. The first time I heard an announcement like this was given by the Shiba Inu team, saying, "Hey, look, listen, be wary of Shiba Inu fakes on other chains." That was a big deal. Then, now, fast forward to now, and you've got the Floki team saying, listen, we're not on the Solana chain yet. We're not on the Base network chain yet. Remember, they were on BSC and Ethereum. So, Binance Smart Chain. So be wary of anything that says Floki on those chains, because you could inadvertently buy those tokens and be invested in the wrong thing. So be very careful. Be very, very careful. This is why I keep saying to people, do your research on these coins and on these tokens, who's involved, what's involved, all that other good stuff, because you can get tripped up very easily. There's a coin out there named Pepe. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. There's another coin out there called Pepe Coin. And when I was speaking, I was even on camera. When I was speaking, I was talking about Pepe. I was talking about Pepe, but looking at Pepe Coin. See what I mean? It's very easy because, sometimes your brain sees something familiar, right? And then you just do what you're going to do. And then you have to stop. You have to read everything. So sometimes when you do trades, you'll get, confirmations before you actually fire off on the trade. And people just, rifle through it. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. You want to pay attention to things like, is that the actual name? Is that the actual web address? Is that the right strike price? Right? So go to CoinMarketCap, go to CoinGecko, go to Live Coin Watch, go to one of these places. Go to your your exchange and say, hey, look, listen, what's the price for what I want to buy? And then that way I have a price in my head, and when I go to buy it, I can also check the price, because chances are the prices are going to be different, right? So you want to check that before you buy. You want to check everything before you finalize that purchase, because once you've bought it, that's it. And you best believe those fake coins are absolutely rug pulls or some other kind of scam, right? So now you understand why I go after you about this stuff so much. And don't think that I'm perfect. Right? Last night I was out there doing a trade, bought some USDC, and was going to send some USDC over to another one of my wallets. And guess what happened? I wound up sending Fetch AI tokens over to my other wallet. Oops. That was an oops. I mean, it turned out that that's what I wanted to do. Why? Because the other exchange is actually supporting the merger. So went on and finished that transaction, and then moved the rest of my fetch bag over there anyway. But I was doing too many things at once and didn't pay attention. Almost got caught out there. Luckily, I was sending from me to me, but that's not the point, right? That's not the point. I messed up, so I'm hoping that you don't mess up. Learn from my mistake, okay? Do me that favor. Learn from my mistake. What else is going on? The next piece of news could wind up being so impactful that I don't even know that people are going to realize this. Sony went and bought Abra Japan. They had been facing money troubles, so they were on the chopping block. And Sony said, oh, we'll scoop you up. Now, I want you to understand the ramifications of this. Sony is huge. Sony's got their hands in so many different things, it's not even funny. Right? So when you look at what Sony can do with an exchange like that, I mean, let's look at a simple one. Let's look at a simple one. Integration with their games. Integration with their gaming platform. Imagine that. Imagine an integration with their gaming platform that would enable you to buy, crypto and use crypto within the games as opposed to other things within the games. Huh. Whoa. Whoa. So imagine what kind of things they'd be able to integrate that exchange into in order to grow business. That never would have seen it coming. Never would have seen it coming. And I only see positive. Like if I sit back and I think about, well, Amber's got money problems, right? And I'm like, well, okay, Amber's got money problems. No longer has money problems. Because Sony has got mo money. So imagine just what they would be able to do by having an exchange in their back pocket. What kind of integration could happen with having an exchange as a part of your portfolio, and how well it matches your portfolio. I'm kind of like, wow, that's kind of a big deal. And I'm all for it. I want to see what Sony does. I'm expecting Sony stock to take off when it really hits the airwaves. I just heard it on CNBC, so I'm waiting for that pop. And then I'll be waiting for the pop of this is what we're going to do with it. Ooh, that sounds like upward momentum to me. Now, bit of bad news. So the head of research for Galaxy Digital says that the chances of a successful application for a Solana ETF in the United States by the SEC is about that big. Just thinking that there are all kinds of regulatory hurdles, the applications might not have been filled out properly. There's a bit more to go, yada, 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 yada. And I'm kind of wondering, like, how could you mess up a Solana application if you've already done a Bitcoin application and an Ethereum application, and Ethereum's about to get the stamp of approval? So how'd you mess up Solana? So it's a very broad statement, and I'm just wondering where he's going with that. And I want to see how that pans out. So I do want to dig into that one, because I'm kind of like, wow, that's a bold statement to make, that your odds for that ETF are small. Yeesh. That's sad. Or is it ETPs? I think it's ETPs in Canada. But it's VanEck and 21 shares, so I believe they're ETFs right here in the United States. Then you have the idea of AI having an impact on crypto. We know that. Then you have Web3 having an impact within the space. Why? Because there's so much more gaming going on. Then what I've been telling you guys, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. Literally the connective tissue. And so people are actually starting to talk about a super cycle for that space. Why is that? Again, Web3 and AI. That's what's going to drive that super cycle. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that sounds about right. Gaming is about to take off. All kinds of things are about to happen in the gaming space. Think about what you could do with AI. Think about the realistic, impact of AI. You want characters that don't seem so stiff? AI can help. You want characters that look like that speak like real human beings? AI can help. The level of gaming is about to get kicked up a lot. A lot. So I'm kind of like, I don't think they're wrong. I do not think they're wrong. Mind you, we're not just talking about the projects themselves. We're also talking about just the infrastructure to manage these things is going to be huge. And that's why they're saying the DePin supercycle could wind up being a thing. So now, my focus has always been on, what's the connective tissue in the space that we're in, right? And I'm usually talking about, the coins that I think are a part of the connective tissue. But we should be looking at coins that also represent, DePins, right? Because I've been telling you about DePins for a while. That, hey, listen, that's what's going to grow right there. That infrastructure needs to grow, must grow, must grow. That's going to be an interesting play. So I'll be doing some research on that to see, where's good money going to be put? Where should I be putting good money in, if I'm looking at, infrastructure, things like that? Not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. Then we have Abra. Remember Abra? I told you last week about Abra. Abra got in trouble with 25 states. That's half of the United States. 25 states, and they agreed that they have to pay back over $82 million to its customers. So that's bad news. So what do? We have new services that we're announcing. Because that'll take the focus off of the bad news. What services? We want to offer, trading, borrowing, yield services to smaller businesses. Businesses that want to have, small and medium-sized businesses that want to have exposure to crypto, mainly Bitcoin and probably Ethereum, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm kind of going, smart move. I was actually wondering when it was going to happen. Not the services, but the idea of dropping big news to take your mind off of the bad news that they just went through. That's what I was thinking about, because that's how that works. What else do we have going on? Metaplanet bought some more. They bought the equivalent of 200 million yen in terms of Bitcoin. Just bought more. Stock over this period of time has shot up like 61%. Yeah. And people are wondering why, here's why. Bitcoin at some point is going to be worth more, or their holdings in Bitcoin at some point are going to be worth more than the business that they're in. You're going to see a lot of business transformations like that. Look at MicroStrategy. They're a software development company. I can almost guarantee you, actually I can guarantee you that at some point their Bitcoin holdings are going to be worth a heck of a lot more than the business that they're supposed to be in. And then you have to wonder, well, so then what do they do? And I want you to think about this, because it's probably going to shock you a little bit. My brother and I were talking about my niece going to his alma mater. No, I'm not going to say the school name. Let's just say it's definitely an Ivy League. So we're talking about that. And I said, it's not an educational facility anymore. It's not an educational institution. It's a financial institution now. And he's like, yeah. So it's already been done, where here's a school that made most of its money from, kids going to school, to a school that probably makes a heck of a lot more money off of its endowments and investments and stuff like that. So when I look at businesses going forward, I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, yeah, it's very easy to see how MicroStrategy used to be a software development company. I can't remember the last time I heard news about, MicroStrategy's actual core business, because I don't think it's actually the core business anymore. Like, what do you do? What do you do when MicroStrategy blows up because of Bitcoin? Let's call it 2030, right? Let's call it 2030. It's only 6 years away. So in 6 years, where's your staff? Did you fire them all and send them all along their way with really big bags? Because what's your business? I'm serious. Like, these things are serious. So I'm sitting here and I'm just wondering, like, so what does that look like? What does that look like? And I think there are going to be a lot of companies that are going to go through a serious, epiphany one day and just go, yeah, we're not in that business anymore. Or they'll spin that business off so we can go do what it's going to do or something. But I think you're going to see a lot of change for a lot of businesses across a lot of different sectors. I was going to say Spectre. I was watching James Bond yesterday. So I'm just wondering, like, how does that work? What are we doing there? That's crazy. So when I look at Metaplanet shooting up 61%, sounds about right. Because if you look at how much Bitcoin is going to be worth in a few years, that was a great investment. Better than introducing a new product. Just saying. I'm just saying. So I'm looking at companies that are offering that. So when it comes to stocks and investments on that side of the house, I'm looking for opportunities like that. Because that's a strong possibility. Those are interesting plays. Those are very interesting plays. What else do we have? Vitalik Buterin is introducing, a proposal for single slot finality and roll up pre-confirmations to get to a point where they can scale better, bring down fees. And I'm like, yeah, everybody talks about how Solana is going to overtake Ethereum. Okay, possible. In a lot of metrics it has. But why hasn't it actually overtaken Ethereum? I'm telling you, Ethereum's a part of that collective, that connective tissue that everybody needs to actually work. So Ethereum's not going anywhere except up, but it's not going anywhere. You would have to have such a massive amount of projects leave Ethereum and go over to Solana for Solana to actually win. Having creating over 106,000 coins on your network does not mean that you're the right network for certain things. And I really like Solana. I have a nice bag of Solana, and I'll keep adding to that bag of Solana. But again, my biggest issue with Solana is mission critical work. I'm not going to trust it with anything mission critical. Secondary operations, yeah, I can deal with that. But mission critical, not going to happen. Not going to happen until they can prove to the world, we found the bug, we have fixed the bug. And I don't know if that's going to be, if that would cause a hard fork, whatever it is, but they have to identify that problem. It exists. It exists. I mean, I've heard about Solana going down a hell of a lot more than other chains going down. That right there will make you say, mission critical problem? Ooh, no bueno. No bueno. So when I look at that, I kind of sit there and kind of go, yeah, it's not how I want to play the game. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So let me refresh this data screen. Come on, let's go. Chop, chop. There you go. Let's make it so we can all read it. That's nice. All right, so on the downside, if you were looking overnight the way I was, because I kept waking up in the middle of the night, you'll see that, on the downside, this is where it ends. WorldCoin, Caspa, WeMix. Not sure why Caspa's down. I mean, I don't hold a bag of Caspa, but I'm wondering why that's down. Maybe profit taking because I had that nice pop, right? Because, somebody said, hey, we've been mining Caspa for a minute. Now it kind of makes sense. And then on the positive side, you go all the way down the list, right? So Ethereum name service up 21%. That's wow. That's a wow for me. 21%. That's a big wow. Layer 0. That's another wow. No, I'm not holding either one of those bags. Let's see. Mythos. There's been talk about Mythos. It's up 12%. Nice gain. Dog with Hat up 12%. Nice gain. Cat in a Dog's World 10%. Nice gain. Now the question is, what's your number before you say, okay, I'm going to shave some off? Because is it going to continue to go up? Do you ride it up until it rides back down? Like, what do you do here? That's my question to you. I know what I would do, but I'm asking you, what would you do? Drop it in the comments. I'm dying to know. Beam is up 9%. Radium is up 9%. Not following Pepe Coin because that's the mistake that I told you guys about before. Who else? Bonk up 8%. BitTensor up 7%. Not bad. These are really good moves. One of my friends owns Immutable. I do not. Up 6%. Maker, another one of my friends owns Maker. Up 6%. She's probably going to text me later talking about, yay, look at me making money. We see you, Spend Cookie. Looking at Bitcoin, 62. It hit 63 earlier this morning. So not bad. Is it going to maintain? Don't know. Could it? Maybe. Maybe. Should I be shaving right now? Should I be shaving off some profit right now? Maybe. I'm asking you to tell me, if your coins are up, are you shaving some profits? D-Mac, I want to know from you, are you shaving some profits? Right? We had this conversation, yesterday? Yeah, I'm dying to know now. Because now you're faced with that problem. So that's why I'm asking. That's definitely why I'm asking. Toncoin is just killing it, boy. They hit a point and they just maintained. That coin just maintained. I'm looking to see how much more is going to happen in that space. Chainlink is up a bit. Look at that. In the past 7 days, it's up almost 10%. Bitcoin Cash, past 7 days, up over 10%. I keep telling you guys, people laugh at me when I talk about Bitcoin Cash. But there it is. Looking at Shiba Inu, Avalanche was also doing well. Shiba Inu not doing all that great, but year to date, they're doing well. I'm expecting that to take off. And I'm expecting that to give me a multiple. During the full bull run, I'm expecting a couple to give me a multiple. Here's another one, Dark Horse, Near Protocol. I'm expecting that to give me a multiple. Really am. Another Dark Horse, Polygon. I expect that to give me a multiple. People are thinking I'm crazy right now. No, I expect it to give me a multiple. Like dead serious. Back half of the year, we're going to see that puppy go up. That's my own feeling. Looking at the U.S. economic future, we've got the FOMC minutes coming out on Wednesday. It shouldn't be impactful, right? They should not be impactful. What's done is done. People are just going to be digging through all the words, every period, every dot, everything, just to see what else they could squeeze out of it. But I don't think we're going to be seeing much. And remember, Thursday is a day off, so Friday, it's not going to matter. Who's going to be working? Like, seriously. Fear and Greed Index is at 53, still in the neutral zone. Glad it's up a little bit, but I'm all right that it's down. Because that means people are selling, holding steady. Numbers are holding steady. Buy more. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm telling you. I'm buying more. DeFi Llama. Yep. Total value locked up to 119. Not bad. Looking at Bitcoin as it is now. Do you see what I see? Do you see that? Do you see that 200-day moving average creeping up? Just saying. But you're up at the upper level of my blue band. My blue band stretching from 57,686 to 63,719. We're really close. Again, we've got to hit that 63,719 and then hit 69,355 before we really make any noise. That's what we really need. Because then after that, if we bust through 69,355, that's it. I think the next stop is definitely going to be the next all-time high. No doubt. So yeah, you would do the cutoff at 73,750, which was the previous all-time high. So of course that's going to be a line, but I think we'll bust right through it. It'll just be a boop. We'll blow right past it. Now, will I be taking profits at that time? Some of my coins, I will be taking profits. In my traders' wallets, I will be taking profits. In my hodling wallets, I will not. Hence the differentiation. Looking at the big board, you can see Avalanche up a lot, Link up a bit, Immutable. You can see who's up. But again, look to see who's up and then take a look at their actual all-time highs. Are they really all that high? Nope. Is it still I get hit with this question all the time. Is it still a good time to buy? You're nowhere near the all-time high. Do you believe that it's going to hit the all-time high? Because if you do, you're nowhere near the all-time highs. So I'm in it to win it. XRP down at 47 cents, almost 48 cents, maybe. But do I think Cardano was a better buy? Yeah, it was. I bought another bag yesterday. I think it's a better buy. I know people are looking at me going, Cardano, better than XRP? XRP is not moving because of XRP. XRP is moving because the market is moving. Cardano is moving because they're making waves. That's why. That's the difference that I see. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I really hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit the notification bell, definitely subscribe, and become a member. There's a lot more going on. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.